Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the third part of Teaching of English, the second unit, in which part we will learn about the teaching of grammar. Now, what is the grammar? According to Dr. West, grammar is not a code of rules. It is like etiquette and table manners, a statement of convention. It summarizes what is done by cultured people, and like etiquette, it in a state of constant changes. There are two kinds of grammar: prescriptive formal and descriptive informal grammar. The first is a set of rules and the other describes the function of the language. One cannot speak English fluently by cramming the grammatical rules, while other teaching English is grammar oriented still now in the schools of UK. Meaning and scope of the grammar. Dr. Sweet has defined grammar as the practical analysis of a language, its anatomy. It deals with the function of words in a sentence. It explains the structural details of a sentence. It is concerned with the general rules of syntax or sentence construction. The order of the words, agreement of the subject and verb, sequence of tenses, etc. These rules throw light on the language structure and facilitate correct language learning. Now, the importance of teaching of grammar. What its importance? Grammar occupies an important place in the teaching of English for the following reasons. It affords an insight into the structure of the language, its beauty and intricacy. It helps the learner to learn the language correctly and efficiently. It helps them in systematizing the knowledge of the forms of language. It gives certain criteria whereby the correctness of language may be tested. Its value is unsurpassed for the purpose of correct writing. There are some limitations of grammar that are summarized below. It deals with only a part of language because it does not deal with idioms, phrases, proverbs, fluency, articulation, vocabulary, different expressions and power of speech. It does not provide ideas, and language without ideas is lifeless. It does not include thought and expression in its domain, and it also not include the formation of paragraphs, the rhyme of expression and the style of speaking and writing. It actually hinders the spontaneous learning of a foreign language. There are different methods to teach grammar that help them a teacher how to teach grammar. The various methods advocated or used for the teaching of grammar are included: the traditional method, the inductive-deductive method, the incidental or correlational method, and the informal method. Now we will discuss this method one by one in detail. First of all, the traditional method. In this method, a textbook or grammar is used. It contains definitions, rules, examples, and exercises related to grammar or grammatical rules. The teacher tells a definition or a rule. For example, he says a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. He gives examples of nouns. Then he refers to an exercise and asks the pupil to point out the nouns surrounded the people around him or her. The pupils have to memorize the definition of the noun. This very procedure is followed for teaching other parts of speech. When they are well learned by the pupils, the teacher introduces them to rules regarding the change of masculine nouns into feminine nouns, transformation and analysis of sentences, change of voice of narration, etc. That are the different grammatical rules. Students commit these rules to memory and solve the exercises given in their textbook or their grammar. The main procedure in this method is from rule to example. It is the criticism on this method. Its chief aim is the memorization of rules and definitions. It includes the cramming of the grammatical rules. Its chief aim is the memorization of method, different rules and definitions. Both these things go against the pedagogic principles. Proceed from known to unknown, simple to complex, particular to general, example to rule. Moreover, memorization of rules and definitions is a dull task. Students do not find any interest in them. They don't like to cram the words, and cramming words, they also forget the grammatical rules very quickly. As such, even after memorizing them, they forget them. For these reasons, the traditional method of teaching grammar has no supporters. The next one is inductive deductive method. This method is mostly suitable because it is in accordance with the modern method of teaching. For example, from known to unknown, from simple to complex, from concrete to abstract, from particular to general. This method comprises the following steps. Number 1. Presentation of examples and illustrations. The teacher presents examples and illustrations in a very systematic manner so that they may lead to a generalization. For example, if the teacher wants to teach how the active voice is changed into the passive voice, he or she can write the following sentences on the blackboard, and she can use flashcards for this purpose and different medias to teach and illustrate the active and passive voices. For example, I rang the bell. The bell was rung by me. You forget the book, and the book was forgotten by you. Analysis of examples. The teacher helps the pupil to analyze the two types of sentences. He asks them to point out the subject, verb, and predicate. Practice in the change of voice. The teacher gives ample practice and opportunities to pupils in the change of voice by asking them to give examples. These examples or sentences are changed from active into passive voice and vice versa. Next one is incidental or correlational method. In this method, grammar is taught incidentally. This is done during the teaching of textbook, doing translating or translation work, or writing composition. Complex structures are explained and the grammatical implications are taught simultaneously. But sometimes these things interfere with the normal course of teaching or particular topic, because sometimes there is an unnecessary divergence. So, however, this method is very suitable as a supplementary to the inductive deductive method. After the rules of grammar have been taught in the grammar period, reference at the proper occasion may be made in the intensive reading or composition period for purposes of further drilling and practice and its application. The last one is informal method. Informal method connotes the informal method connotes teaching of no grammatical rules. This method explains correct uses informally during correction work. This method is a necessity in the early stages when the pupils have not mastered enough of vocabulary and are yet baffling with speech. When they are in the learning process, and they start their learning process, especially in their initial classes.